Hey, hello and welcome back. My name is Orzhel, broker owner of Realty Max. So what I want to talk about to you, we're going to be talking about the market, and ultimately there's a lot of new things brewing as far as rates go, as far as the market shifts go. So we're going to make this hopefully really short, concise, and to the point. All right, so let's start with this for Discovery Hills and San Marcos overall and the county. So overall, the market is still stable. However, we have seen at least 50% of the properties in the market have seen reductions, price reductions. So there's been a pullback primarily due to contraction of the buyer pool. The rates are, let me flash them here really quick for you. The rates are, here we go. Boom. So as you can see, the rates, this is as of the 14th. Right now, the rate's actually around 6.85, more or less, somewhere in the ballpark. So the rates have gone up again. People have been waiting for rates to come down. They have gone up, not down. There's been a slight relief today as I'm recording this on the 19th. There's obviously a possibility of war escalation thanks to the launch of missiles, I guess, into the Russian territory, which can cause all kinds of issues. As you know, the Russian government has updated their nuclear declaration, so things have shifted quite a bit. Crazy times. We are about a week post-election, so there's a lot of hope and a lot of unknowns coming up. But overall, I'm going to be looking at basically three basic points. Number one, we are at, as you can see, about 6.8 or so on a 30-year fixed mortgage. So people are hoping to see it come down to 6.5s and etc. And that's not happening as of now. Even though, as you can see right here on the chart, this is when the rates have were reduced about a half a point by the Fed bank. This is a bank-to-bank lending rate that usually somehow ends up showing up in a 10-year yield. But what happened is, as you can see, it went up. And the reason for that, I think the market banks are not as open to lending or resistant to lending. They really see that more inflation is in a way. And even though we are trying to ease or we're trying to reduce the rates, the market sees something else up front. This is my read on it. However, ultimately, as far as that's concerned, I believe what is it, $38 trillion in debt United States is now. So overall, they're going to have to do something because just the servicing of that debt runs taxpayers around $1 trillion a year. So it's way too much money, and the ad is continuing to pile up, right? So at some point, they'll have no choice but to reduce the rate, to reduce the payment on that debt. And I believe overall, that's going to hit inflation, right? So as I said before, the market's doing good. There's more price reductions, but again, you just cannot get, there's no price increases like we had, let's say, 8 months ago or 7 months ago or 6 months ago, or especially 2 years ago, right? But the market overall is stable. Again, the main reason for price reductions is because there's a lot of agents try to be very aggressive with the market. And ultimately, it ends up backfiring. What happens, the home stays in the market too long. It loses its value, perceptive value, or perceived value, and listing agents have no choice but basically come back and speak to their clients to let them know we have to drop the price. As you know, if you've been following me, I work backwards. I really like to, instead of chasing the market down, I want to have the market come to me, right, and push the price up. So we are a little more aggressive as far as pricing go because I really want to have things done within a weekend. We'll find the buyer for your home 100%. You'll know you'll get the best price using me. And ultimately, what I try to do is I try to create somewhat of an auction environment because only the buyers who qualify get to come inside the house and look at the house. So you have all pre-approved buyers coming in at the same time. We increase the level of, number one, competition between the buyers because everybody wants what everybody can have or somebody can have. Everybody wants what all the people want, right? There's this whole social proof component. So the property has a tendency of being bid up. And like I said, when buyers bid for your property, there's only one winner, and that's usually a seller. And this is what environment I try to create in every listing. Now, we've had some situations where the market started to pull back and we had to rework the situation. But the good thing about it is we're going to find out if the property is priced correctly or not within the first 7 days, okay? Because I have a system where people sign up to come into to the showing event. And if I see there's not enough people showing up, we kind of put things on hold, take a look at the market, and rework it right there. Because last thing you want to do is wait 2 or 4 weeks for you to do any kind of adjustments. Because by this time, as you've seen my graphs before, basically there's going to be a reduction in perceived value of your property. And it's very difficult to kind of redo this whole process, okay? But overall, the market is doing well. As you can see, again, the rates are somewhat at 6.78. As you can see here, we've come down right here at almost 6%. And this was just September 26th, right? Maybe, I don't know, 6 weeks, 5 weeks ago. But the market had a different view on the process. So what I think is going to happen, I think inflation is going to be here. I think it's going to be very difficult to stop it. Whatever they're going to try to do in the federal level is going to take a while for it to work through. So we'll see. Like I said, hopefully all those people that Trump has on the dojo, right, team, Musk, Vivek, and whoever else is there is going to make an impact on efficiency, government efficiency, and waste. Okay, as far as I never talk about policy or politics, I'm really just a financially conservative person. I think if you overspend, ultimately you're going to have to pay the piper, and it doesn't matter what issues you're working on. If you overspend and the country goes bankrupt, which it can, right? Eventually things just going to inflate out of the way, and you're going to have a bigger gap between haves and have-nots, and the country is not going to last. So fiscal financial component is my number one focus when it comes to any kind of political stuff. That's the number one thing I look for. Be that as a main, I think the market is going to continue being strong. Like I said, if you are going to sell, like I said, you need to move out of the area. Unfortunately, we have divorces, we have all kinds of things. Please feel free to give me a call. I think you'll find out after speaking to me, you get the least salesy approach and the most impactful approach to selling. Like I said, we only need, basically, usually I need only 1 or 2 days to show the property, and that's only done within 90 minutes usually. Total time 90. Sometimes I need 2 90-minute intervals to show that. And by Monday, we're able to have all offers on the table. And I do some additional work to make sure you squeeze out the absolute highest price and have the best and the most stable buyer. So you can rest assured that the transaction has a very high chance of closing. Okay. So what I want to jump on at this point, let's jump on and look at what's going on with Discovery, right? So as you can see right here, we have about 2 properties that are currently in the market, specifically in Discovery Hills Meadows area, 1020 Sparrow Court. Now that's been on the market for a long time. Again, we spoke about, I kind of explained to you that 119 days in the market is way too long. A property should be able to be absorbed by the market within 1 or 2 weeks, because at this point the buyer pool that's there has already seen the property, right? It's already knows what the property is. So now you're waiting for a buyer to come, like drip in one at a time, and at this point they can look and say, hey, this has been in the market for 2 months, everybody passed on it. It's not a good environment to buy. They're not going to be, they're not going to feel any kind of anxiety they're going to lose out to anybody else. This is when lowball offers come in, and usually the sale, even if there is some kind of a sale that happens, it usually falls out often, because like I said, there's questioning yourself why you're buying this when nobody else wanted to. Another one that's on the market, Trail Side. As you can see, this one been on the market for 88 days, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2799 square feet. Original price was 1.6, let's say, and now they dropped it about 50,000. I mean, what is that? 3%, right? Something like that, maybe 3.5%. if the home is in the market this long, it's really not going to make that difference, right? Something went wrong up front. It was probably overpriced, and the worst thing you can do when listing the property is overpricing. I'm always more fearful because if you underprice the property in an open market, the market will come. You'll have people coming out of the woodwork wanting to buy that. And because of that, you have such a high demand for the property will automatically move up in price. If you ever seen auctions, car auctions or anything else, when there's one of something, prices will push up, especially if you can pull in the right buyers and have them compete for the property. So we'll see what happens. We'll kind of follow on the next video. Mendocino. On the market for 1 day, right? 3-2, 1339, 850 asking price. We'll see, but I'm pretty sure it's going to close for at least 50,000 over asking. And again, when you're in a market quickly, people who got the property feel lucky, right? There's urgency. There's all kinds of emotions that help the whole deal stick together. So that's a lot of times traditional agents don't understand that, and they're afraid to kind of present that to you because they don't know how to present it and they don't know how to work in this kind of new environment. Another one that has gone into escrow, 676 Shenandoah Avenue, 14 days in the market, as you can see here, right? 4-3, let's see, 2006. As you can see, this is an example of kind of how I do it, right? This one was a semi-auction kind of an environment. There's a few people in North County that do this. Originally, they priced it as kind of an auction, right, at $800,000. Now it's now listed at $1,091,000. So basically, they're what, 300,000 over asking. Again, they're able to get the buyers to jump up and to really push the price up. As doing this for, let me just bring myself in. Doing this for 22 years, I found out a long time ago. It's literally impossible, virtually impossible to underprice a property in a market, especially when you have all this technology. It's everywhere. It's not going to go for that price. You're going to have people coming in from all the crevices trying to buy the property because it's a great deal. Yeah, it looks like a great deal. But when you have a great deal, a lot of people want it, the price goes up to market value, period. Now, another question I get from myself is, well, how do you know if somebody's not going to come in and just give us 800,000? Do I have to accept it? No, we don't work that way. We have all the offers. We wait for all the offers to come in at the same time. And at that point, we parse through the offers. I do my work. I look at the financials. I look and make sure that they can close. And I do my magic of figuring out what we can get from each person and push the price up. It's much easier to push the price up and get market plus, right? When the property is underpriced versus overpriced. The problem is, well, a lot of agents, traditional agents, they don't get this. They're afraid to tell you how what the listing price is really all about and how the market actually looks at your property, right? Because they tell you we're going to get X amount because they want to get the listing, right? So they'll tell you, hey, it's going to be, let's say 1.2. 30 days goes by, nobody shows up, we have a few showings, and then they come to you and say, well, we overpriced the property. The point I'm trying to say, by this time, it's too late because you've already been on the market for 30 days. Even if you drop the price, yes, you have people coming in, but you already lost that perception of value. And that's something I try to maintain with all my listings that I sell. That's why I regularly get 10-12% average on each sale we do, right? And I say average because we've had some that sold for 4 or 5% over, and we had some that sold for 30% over, right? On average, I'm still running around 12% or so over asking price. So let's jump back in here. All right, so the next one we're going to look at right here is Wild Lilac, 819, 3-bedroom, 3-bath. It was in the market for 48 days, right? Price was $998. I think that this one might have popped out of the market. It was an escrow. So we'll see what's going to close at. These days in the market, I'm thinking probably around 950, probably less, but we'll see again. Just follow me and you'll see what's happening. Okay, these ones are closed. 564 Echo closed 23 days in the market, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2741 square feet. So as you can see, 23 days in the market, right? As I told you, after about a week, you have significant reduction in perceived value. So this one, as an example, 23 days in the market. The original asking price was $1,250,000. Then we didn't drop it, but they closed at $1,150,000. So we had a haircut of $100,000, right? And I think this house could have sold for more using a different non-traditional approach that I use, right? Because we got a good multiple offers. We got this off the market within 7 days. Let's say SEMA Drive, 7 days in the market, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, almost 2,800 on a market, 2,800 square feet. 1539 was asking price, and looks like they closed at 1547, slightly above. Yeah, I know this is a Redfin, I believe. So, like I said, I try not to, shit on my competitors, but like I said, you get what you pay for. Another one is Honeysuckle, 6 days in the market, 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 2,140 square feet. Okay, another, basically another support for how I do things, right? 6 days in the market, 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 2,140 square feet. Asking price was $1,199,000, so at 1.2, and it closed at $1,320,000. As I mentioned to you before, very, very difficult to underprice a property if you have a good person working for you. If you have someone that doesn't have commission breath, who is a real fiduciary, because they know how to use all this energy and put it all in one, I'm not sure what words I'm looking at, one basket. And when all the offers are in, right, you don't take one offer at a time. You don't show the home to one person at a time. You show it all at the same time. You get all the offers together, because now there's urgency for the buyers to make the offer, urgency for the buyers because they might miss out on the property. So you have a FOMO effect as well, right? And this is what I do. Anyway, just as a reminder, again, this is Lee Orzhel, Realty Max. We do the N72. You can go to n72.com, get some more information. Also, if you already don't know this, I'm a mortgage originator. So if you want to talk rates, if you have, maybe you want to buy an investment property, which I highly encourage you guys. This market, this inflation is going to continue, right? Unless you have some kind of black swan event like war or something else, right? This market is going to continue. We're going to continue. Inflation's here. They're going to have to somehow pay their debt. The government has to pay their debt. The only way they can pay or maintain paying their debt is they're going to have to lower the rates. There's no other way. And unfortunately, that's going to spread out everywhere. So if you have kids, talk to me about possibly getting another investment property. If you don't want to get in California, we can talk about other states as well, because there's opportunities in other states, because I know a lot of people are somewhat hesitant about California with all this new stuff coming up, rent control and all this, garbage. But it's totally doable. And like I say, if you can afford it, you want to buy some for your kids so you have something to pass on to them, I would highly encourage that. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. We're doing this for about 18 minutes now. This is Lee Orzhel, Realty Max. I appreciate your time. If I don't talk to you before then, happy and wonderful Thanksgiving with the family. Enjoy your family. And I guess we'll be talking soon. Bye-bye.